Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about the organization of the human body and some terms we use to refer to different areas. So I'd encourage you to pause the video and see if you know any of these terms and fill them in before I talk about them just to help you. But otherwise, we'll go ahead and just walk through them. So superior is above and inferior is below. So my head is superior to my neck. Anterior is the front and posterior is your back. So my nose is anterior to my face. And this is the whole anterior side of me. Medial is center and lateral is side. So my belly button is medial. My pinky toe would be lateral. Cephalic is your head and caudal is tail. Caudal is more for other organisms, but technically like the base, our tailbone would be the caudal area. Ventral is front or belly and dorsal is back. For human beings, ventral and anterior are the same. Similarly, dorsal and posterior are the same for human beings, but not for anything else. So I have this little sample polar bear organism here. So for the polar bear, the anterior is his face, and posterior is his butt, dorsal is his top of his back, ventral is belly. But for us, because we're upright, they mean the same thing. My face is on my belly side, so anterior and ventral are equivalent. Proximal is closer to trunk, so my armpit is proximal. Distal is farther, so my fingers are distal. Superficial is on the surface. If you get a scratch, that would be a superficial wound. Deep would be very internal. So if you get a puncture wound, step on a nail, that would be deep. All right. Some other terms that we use to refer to ourselves. So the main axis of the body, or the axial area, is your head, neck, and trunk, the whole center part. If you've ever heard your arms and legs called appendages, that's because that's the appendicular area of our body. Arms and legs are appendages, they're appendicular. All right, then we have some body cavities within these different areas. So the axial part of our body, the head, neck, and trunk, has a dorsal and a ventral side. The dorsal being this back here, the ventral being the front. Within that, that's where we have most of our cavities. So the cranial cavity up here, and I would encourage you to label this on your notes if you can, has our brain. The vertebral cavity here on the dorsal side has our spinal cord. The abdominal cavity is on the ventral side. The top part of it is the abdominal section, and that has like most of our digestive organs, for example, whereas the pelvic part, even though there's no real separation, has more like our reproductive and urinary organs. Okay, lastly on the ventral side, we've got this thoracic section. That's your chest, that has your heart and lungs. Appendicular has no cavities because it's your arms and legs. There's nothing inside your arms and legs but your arms and legs. So hopefully that makes sense. And last thing, I just wanted to mention anatomical position. So when we're using these directional terms, it really matters how we're standing, how we're going to actually use them. So like if you change your position, superior becomes very different. So when we're using superior, inferior, whatever, we're assuming the human is in anatomical position. That means you're standing upright with your you're facing forward and your palms are facing forward as well, your thumbs out. Especially the hand position is important because your arms can rotate. So we want to designate we're facing front and our palms are facing front too. All right, that was a lot. Hopefully it makes sense. There's a Quizlet set that I'll link that's linked to the note sheet for y'all. Definitely practice with that to get these terms on lock. Email with questions.